AV The Umpire Strikes Out. ESBHV, complete. Brent Koivapolo 888. Administrator. Grand Inquisitive. Just got a cat named Galadriel. Posts, 3,446. Member is online. July 9, 2021 at 1:53 a.m. Post by Brent Koivapolo 888 on July 9, 2021 at 1:53 a.m. Warning, this fanfic is filled with Star Wars saga spoilers. Rated PG-13 for language, sex humor, and possible drug references. All credit for anything not my own in these scripts goes to their authors. Any change or alteration made to any original material from other authors made for editorial purposes or for continuity or in keeping with the rules of theforce.net. Title: The Empire Strikes Back, Humorous version. Author: The Jedi Council. First author: Perp. All other authors: General Rickon, Darth Vacuous, Lieutenant Commander Thrawn, Gonk. Study 3600. Characters: Mannequin Streetwalker / Darth Vacuous, Cameo / Umpire Palpatine, General Rickon, Obi-Wan McNobi / Been There, Yoga, Marcus Streetwalker, Princess Lee Smits of All Drained, Hands Off, Admiral Pyatt, Chunkalunk, C. Stinkyo, R2-D2. Genre: Fantasy / Humor. Length: an entire Star Wars shooting script's worth of material. Timeline: same as TESB. Summary: driven from their rebel base on the ice world of Hot, and fleeing from the Empire, Hans and Lee go to Claude City on Aspirin. Meanwhile, Marcus trains to be a Jedi under the Jedi Grand Master Yoga on Dayglobah. Notes: this is a closed thread, meaning only I am allowed to post parts of the story, but anyone is welcome to comment. Last edit, November 5, 2022 at 4:47 a.m. by Brent Koivapolo 888. Love is Sacrifice. Brent Koivapolo 888. Administrator. Grand Inquisitive. Just got a cat named Galadriel. Posts, 3,446. Member is online. July 9, 2021 at 2:08 a.m. Post by Brent Koivapolo 888 on July 9, 2021 at 2:08 a.m. A long time ago. Celine Dion. There were nights when the wind was so cold that my body froze in bed. If I just listened to it right outside the window. There were days when the sun was so cruel that all the tears turned to dust. And I just knew my eyes were drying up forever. I finished crying in the instant that you left. And I can't remember where or when or how. And I banished every memory you and I had ever made. But when you touch me like this, and you hold me like that, I just have to admit that it's all coming back to me. When I touch you like this, and I hold you like that. It's so hard to believe, but it's all coming back to me. It's all coming back. It's all coming back to me now. There were moments of gold. And there were flashes of light. There were things I'd never do again. But then they'd always seemed right. There were nights of endless pleasure. They were stronger than two lovers could love. In a galaxy far, far away. Beastly boys. Intergalactic, planetary, intergalactic. Intergalactic, planetary, intergalactic. Intergalactic, planetary, intergalactic. Intergalactic, planetary, intergalactic. Another dimension, another dimension. 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 Another dimension. Well, now, don't you tell me to smile. You stick around, I'll make it worth your while. My number's beyond what you can dial. Maybe it's because we're so versatile. Style, profile, I said. It always brings me back when I hear, "Ooh, child." From the Hudson River out to the Nile. I run the marathon to the very last mile. Well, if you battle me, I feel reviled. SC01EXT space. A vast sea of stars serves as the backdrop for a toilet roll, which unrolls into infinity. The Humorous versions. Episode 5. The Umpire strikes out. It is a dark time for the rebellion. No, their lights are still working. I was just talking metaphorically. Although the deadly star has been destroyed, the Empire hasn't surrendered. In fact, that just seemed to piss it off even more. Go figure. Imperial troops have driven the rebels from their not-so-hidden anymore base in the Yahoo system. A group of freedom fighters led by Marcus Streetwalker, that is, a group of freedom fighters, including the heroic. No, that's not it. A group of freedom fighters, along with a whiny little git named Marcus Streetwalker, has established a new secret base on the remote world of Hot. The semi-evil Lord Darth Vacuous, obsessed with finding young Streetwalker, has dispatched thousands of probes to the far reaches of space. When he ran out of those, he had to resort to cheaper methods. An imperious cruiser glides through space, releasing several pods. One of these pods heads towards the planet Hot. SC02EXT Hot Meteorite Crater Snowplane Day. A low groaning sound rises above the whining of the wind. A battered Stomptrooper climbs out of the crater and looks around. Stomp, man, this job sucks. They never mentioned this in the recruitment pamphlet. He turns back to the pit and whistles. A team of dogs, pulling a sled behind them, comes out. Sighing, the Stomptrooper gets on. SC03EXT, Plains of Hot Day. A small figure gallops across the windswept ice slope. The bundled rider is mounted on a two-legged snow lizard, a bonbon. The rider gallops up a slope and reins his lizard to a stop. He pulls off his goggles, revealing Marcus Streetwalker. Marcus squints at the dark smoke rising from the crater. He brushes snow off his comlink and activates it. Marcus, Echo 3 to Echo 7. Hands, old buddy, do you read me? Hands, over comlink, don't give me that old buddy crap. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be out here freezing my butt off. Marcus, look, I said I was sorry. I didn't think Rickon was gonna stick us with patrol duty. Hands, you should have kept your big mouth shut. Marcus, it was a joke. How was I supposed to know his mother really was a Hutt? Hands, that's it, you can finish patrol yourself. I'm heading back to base. If you want me, I'll be in the hot tub. Marcus, I'll see you shortly. There's a meteorite that hit the ground near. Wait a minute, the base has a hot tub? There is no answer. Marcus Bonbon rears suddenly, nearly throwing him off. Marcus, what is it, girl? You smell something? Something brushes against his leg, startling Marcus. He looks down to see a white-furred creature, a Wumpa ice creature. It looks at him with puppy dog eyes and nuzzles his leg. Marcus, well, hey, you're a cutie. He scratches the Wumpa behind the ears, making it purr. Marcus Bonbon rears again, obviously terrified. Marcus, what's wrong with you? It's perfectly harmless. Marcus freezes as he hears a low growl behind him. Turning, he sees a very angry 11-foot-tall ice Wumpa standing in front of her cub. Marcus, nice Wumpa? Whack. Marcus falls to the ground, unconscious. The Bonbon's terrified screams are cut short by the horrible sound of a neck being broken. The Wumpa grabs one of Marcus' ankles and begins dragging him across the plain. Her cub follows, playfully batting at Marcus' shoelaces. SC04EXT Hot Rebel Base Entrance Day. Hans rides up to the entrance on his bonbon. It is a giant ice cave with massive steel doors flanking it. Int. Rebel Base Command Center. A makeshift command center has been set up in a blasted area of thick ice. Controllers, troopers, and droids are holding umbrellas over the equipment, trying to keep them dry. General Rickon looks up from a console at Hans' approach and frowns. Rickon, what do you want? Hans, no sign of life, General. Sensors are in place, you'll know if anything comes around. Rickon, growling, what about Streetwalker? Hans, he's still out, sir. Rickon, mumbling, good. Little punk. Hans, General, I got to leave. I can't stay anymore. Rickon throws a curious glance at Lee, who is standing near a console. She is looking sharply at Hans. Hans is shuffling his feet and trying not to look in her direction. Rickon, are you really sure you want to try that? Hans, yeah, there's a price on my head, and... Rickon, there's a price on your head? Hans, yeah. Rickon, really? How much? Hans looks up suspiciously at Rickon. Hans, why? Rickon, no reason. Well, you want to try to leave, be my guest. Hans starts to rush out of the command room, but stops at the entrance. Unable to resist, he glances up at Lee. She is glaring daggers at him. Hans, bye. He bolts out of the room. Lee, Hans. She runs after him. Int. Rebel Base Ice Corridor. Hans is running down the hall as fast as he can. Lee, Hans. Hans stops dead in his tracks, cringing. He turns around. Hans, yes? Lee, I thought you had decided to stay. Hans, I decided. Don't you mean you decided? Lee, I decided. I don't know what you're talking about. Hans, what? Every time I try to leave, you threaten to beat the crap out of me. Lee, and what makes you think this time is any different? Hans ducks behind a crate. Hans, look, why don't you let me go? I'm not helping here. Lee, no, you're a great help to us. You're a natural leader. Hans stares at her. Lee begins to shift uncomfortably. Lee, you are. Hans, wait a minute. He gasps, you've got a crush on me. Lee, I do not. Hans, then why are you following me? Lee, because. Hans, I knew it. He dashes down the corridor, singing, Lee loves me. Lee loves me. Lee, damn. She slams her fist into the wall. The wall shudders before a huge mound of snow falls on top of Lee. SC-05 Int. Rebel Base Main Hangar Deck. Rebel troops rush about unloading supplies and otherwise securing their new base. There is water dripping everywhere, due to the melting ceiling. Hans dismounts his bonbon and walks towards the Millennium Fountain, which is parked among several fighters. His cookie co-pilot, Chunky, is working on the ship. Hans, Chunky. Hey, Chunky. Chunky stops his work and growls at Hans. Hans, what's your problem? Look, I got frostbite in places I'd rather not talk about. You just get that ship ready. We're leaving. Chunky laughs and growls a comment under his breath. Hans, I mean it this time. You'll see, we'll be out of here by morning. Chunky shakes his head as Hans walks off. Int. Rebel Base Another Ice Corridor. R2-D2 is rolling down the corridor with C. Stinkio walking beside him. Stinkio, I can't believe you turned on the thermal heater in the princess's room. What were you thinking? R2 beeps a response. Stinkio, no, it wasn't funny. We're going to get in trouble. How we're going to dry out all her clothes, I really don't know. R2 beeps a rude response. Stinkio, I don't care what she called you, you didn't have to do that. And if I might add something, I should point out that humans are not flexible enough to do what you're suggesting. Int. Rebel Base main hangar deck. Hands and Chunky are working on the fountain as the two droids walk up. Hands, come on, we need to get this ship back together. Do you want to leave or not? Chunky growls. Stinkio, excuse me, sir. Hands to Chunky, look, we can fix the radio later. Put the engine back in now. Stinkio, sir? Hands, what do you want? Stinkio, well, it's Princess Lee. She's been trying to reach you. Hands looks around nervously. Hands, she's not here, is she? Stinkio, no, sir. She's wondering about Master Marcus. He hasn't come back yet. Hands, tell someone who cares. Stinkio, but sir, she was quite insistent that we. A piercing shriek fills the cavern, rumbling the walls and filling every man's heart with dread. Hands, what the hell was that? R2 beeps something. Stinkio, oh, dear. She found the clothes. Hands, what clothes? A door at the far end of the hangar bursts open. The rebels in the area take one look and run away in fear. Lee is standing there quivering, a silken designer dress clenched in one fist and a pair of Italian shoes in the other. Lee, who did this? Her eyes fall on Hands. Lee, you. Hands, no. I was going to find Marcus. Really? Lee slowly begins stalking forward. Hands pales, then runs for the nearest bonbon. He leaps on and spurs it towards the exit. Lee, get back here, you. Your bonbon'll freeze before you reach the first marker. Hands, then I'll see you in hell. At least it's warm there. Cut to Hands, riding in the snow. He suddenly dismounts, approaches community of Eskimos and penguins. Hands, you seen this man? Eskimo, fish. You buy fish? Hands, no, I want to know if you've seen this man. Take a look at the picture. Eskimo, fish. I sell, you buy, okie day? Hands, didn't you hear me? I don't have time for fish. Ooh, is that ice cream? Several hours later. Hands appears from an igloo, stuffed and walking towards his lizard. He gets on it, only to see it's died of exposure. Swearing incessantly, he resumes his search for Marcus, dragging the lizard along behind him. SC-08 INT Wumpa Cavern Dusk. The Wumpa sits, growling and eating parts of Streetwalker's bonbon. Streetwalker hangs from the ceiling. Suddenly, the soundtrack roars to life and Streetwalker awakens. He realizes that he's in an enclosed area with the apex predator and starts to reach for his bright saber, which has fallen out of his jeans pocket and is about 2 inches away from his fingers. He tries this for about 30 seconds and realizes that it isn't working. Suddenly, the Wumpa starts walking towards him, and he abruptly falls from the ceiling, plot device, and grabs his saber. He stabs the advancing Wumpa in the eye, then cuts its arms off. Wumpa, subtitled You Hit Me. You hit me right in the eye. For some reason, Streetwalker decides to go outside where the mother of all snowstorms is taking place, rather than finishing the Wumpa off and staying inside where it is semi-warm. Ah, yes. Idiot. So anyway, he crawls outside and falls over in the snow. The cave collapses, sending a blast of snow and ice shooting out of the cave mouth across the plains. When all the snow settles, all we see are 2 legs sticking up out of a drift, kicking wildly. Eventually, Marcus is able to pull himself out. Marcus, oh, man, it's freezing out here. Good thing I have my survival kit. He pulls a heavy case from his back and opens it. Marcus, what the hell? It's full of sand. He starts digging frantically through the sand. His fingers find something, and he yanks it out of the case triumphantly. It is a piece of paper with the word gotcha on it. Marcus. He seems to have lost all his energy. A glowing figure appears in front of him. Ghost, Mark. Mark. Marcus, bin? Ghost, Mark. There's always a bigger fish. Whack. Obi and MC Nobi, Ligon, this is my movie. Go away. Go on, I don't want your stunted slime in my sight again. Ligon, don't talk like that to your master, boy. A whacking fight ensues, with Ligon disappearing at the end. Obi, good riddance. Where was I? Oh yes. Clears throat, you will go to the Dayglobah system. There you will learn from Yoga, the Jedi master who instructed me. Marcus, I thought Ligon was your master. Whack. Obi, Credits will do fine. Marcus, huh? Obi, credits will do fine. Marcus, what? Whack. Obi disappears, leaving the unconscious form of Marcus in the snow. Irvin Kershner, cut. Let's try that again, people. Last edit, January 7th, 2022 at 5:50 p.m. by Brent Koivapolo 888. Love is sacrifice. Brent Koivapolo 888. Administrator. Grand Inquisitive. Just got a cat named Galadriel. Posts, 3,446. Member is online. July 15th, 2021 at 1:19 a.m. Post by Brent Koivapolo 888 on July 15th, 2021 at 1:19 a.m. SCEXT Hot Snowdrift Dusk Take 2. Hey, wait a minute. It was night back at the hangar. Now all of a sudden it's dusk again? What the hell's going on? SCEXT Hot Snowdrift Night Take 3. That's better. The jagged face of a huge ice wall sits gloomily in the dim twilight of a hot day. Marcus hangs upside down, ankles frozen into stalactites. Or is it stalagmites? Damn, I can never remember which it is. Anyway, his feet are encased in solid ice. Don't ask me how. A snarling sound draws his attention further into the cave, where the ferocious Wumpa is tearing apart a carcass faster than Sally Struthers attacks the turkey at Thanksgiving dinner. The cub is nearby, batting something across the ice and chasing it. When it notices Marcus is awake, it grabs its new toy and trots over, tail wagging. Marcus, no, shoo. No, I can't play right now. Look, He stops talking as the cub drops the object in its mouth. It is his lightsaber. Marcus, what the dash? He looks at the cub and smiles, good boy. You wanna play? Huh? Wanna play? The cub, hearing the cheerful tone in Marcus' voice, grabs the lightsaber and brings it over, tail wagging furiously. Marcus, that's it. Good boy. Now come on, give me the saber. Come on. Gimme your toy. That's right. Come on, gimme the toy. The cub gets close enough for Marcus to reach out and grab one end of the lightsaber. The cub takes this as an invitation to play a game of tug of war. Marcus, no. Bad Wumpa. Drop your toy. Come on, drop it. Drop it. The mother Ice Wumpa, hearing the noise, looks over at Marcus. Seeing him messing with her kid, she growls and begins walking towards him. Marcus, please. Come on, drop it. The cub's grip loosens for a split second, and Marcus is able to yank the saber out. Igniting it, he cuts through the ice above him, freeing his feet. He falls to the ground in a heap, only to jump up and start running around in a panic when he realizes his boots are on fire. The cub chases after him, nipping at his ankles and yipping joyfully. Marcus, hot. Hot. Ho ow. Stop biting me. As he dances around, his lightsaber, which is still ignited, accidentally cuts through one of the one of the ice columns holding the cave up. There is a sharp crack and the entire cave groans. Marcus, oh. Marcus trudges through the blasting snow. He trips and falls face-first onto the ground. Lacking the energy to pick himself up, he lies there. Marcus lies face down in the snow, nearly unconscious. The sound of dogs barking rise above the sound of the wind. The Stomp Trooper rides by on his husky sled. Stomp, teeth chattering, must find rebels before armor freezes to skin. One of the dogs starts sniffing Marcus. Stomp, bloody dog, stop sniffing that poor man. We need to get going, the rebels could be anywhere. He rides off, still grumbling. Streetwalker is left in the snow, alone again. Yeah, and how that stormtrooper finally finds the rebel base. A saga in and of itself. He's just riding along, then bank. Hey, where's this metallic obstruction resembling a shield generator come from? Stupid natural outcroppings, hey, look. Footprints in the snow. Rebel activity. Voice, Marcus. Marcus. Marcus, bin? Voice, there's always a bigger fish, Marcus. Whack. Bin, get the hell out of here, Ligon. This is my movie. You didn't even disappear when you died. Legon, don't speak to your master like that. Bin, you're not my master anymore, Ligon. Why do you keep bugging me? Legon, I must do what I think is right, of course. Whack. Bin, and get some new lines. Ligon glares at Bin, rubbing his cheek, and reluctantly fades away. Bin coughs and resumes a stern demeanor. Bin, you will go to the Dayglobah system. There you will learn from Yoga, the Jedi Master who instructed me. Marcus, but, didn't you just say that other guy was your master? Bin, waves his hand, credits will do fine. Marcus, what? Bin, waves his hand again, these aren't the droids you're looking for. Marcus, huh? Whack. Bin fades away, revealing hands, grunting as he drags his bonbon across the desolate snowplain. Hands, stupid, good-for-nothing snow lizard. Don't know why I oof. The last is said as he trips over Marcus. Hands, hey, buddy, what's the big idea, Marcus? I'll be damned, I actually found you. Marcus, mumbling, Bin. Bin. Hands, hang on, kid, I gotta get you warm. Marcus, credits, do fine, not looking, these droids. Hands, hey, a bright saber. I always wanted to play with one of these. He ignites the saber and starts swinging it around, brzzz. Verve zap. One of his swings slices open the bonbon's belly. Hands, oops. Hey, wait a minute, there's something in there. He reaches in and pulls out a boot, what the dash? What the hell do they feed these things? He reaches back in and pulls out a mangled umbrella, somebody's wallet, a deflated inner tube, a bottle of SPF 15, and a child's sand bucket. Hands, what? There isn't a beach for light years. He looks down at the items, and suddenly his face lights up as he looks at the bucket. Hands, wait a minute. Last edit, January 7th, 2022 at 5:52 p.m. by Brent Coivapolo 888. Love is sacrifice. Brent Coivapolo 888. Administrator. Grand Inquisitive. Just got a cat named Galadriel. Posts, 3,446. Member is online. July 21st, 2021 at 7:01 p.m. Post by Brent Coivapolo 888 on July 21st, 2021 at 7:01 p.m. EXT hot outside ice hangar, dusk. R2 is standing in the falling snow, beeping softly. He has a small sensor dish extended that is rotating back and forth. Stinky O walks stiffly over to him. Stinkio, you must come along now, R2. There's nothing more we can do. R2 beeps a thoughtful response. Stinkio, don't say things like that. Of course we'll see Master Marcus again. And he'll be quite all right. R2 makes an electronic snort. Stinkio, what do you mean? At least he's got plenty of sand. What are you talking about? R2 whistles nonchalantly and begins to roll off. Stinkio, come back here, you stupid little short circuit. Int. Rebel Base Main Hangar Deck Entrance Night. A rebel lieutenant moves to Major Darling, an officer on watch. Rebel, sir, all patrols are in. Still on contact from Streetwalker or Solo. Darling, sweet. Another 5 minutes and we can close the door. Princess Lee is pacing angrily between two crates. Stinkio approaches with R2. Stinkio, Mistress Lee, R2 says he is unable to pick up any life signals, although he does admit his range is far too weak to break out the champagne just yet. Major Darling walks up. Darling, all right, we've waited 2 hours, so it's fair to assume they're dead. I think we can close the doors now without legal repercussions. Lee, do it. The doors slowly begin to close. Lee, what do you suppose the chances are that they're still alive? Darling, well, a couple of the boys have got a pool going. Right now they're giving 725 to 1 against. The doors close with an echoing boom that reverberates through the cavern. Chunky howls pitifully and runs over to the door, scratching and whining. Lee, damn. Why does he always have to go out right after we close the doors? EXT Hot Snowdrift Dawn.